upgrading your systems to the latest patch level. What is mean by kernel upgrade? What is mean by kernel? So kernel is the base. Kernel is the base for the SAP base. So during the installations, we will download the kernels, exports as WPM, right? In the kernel files we have. Kernel means we have two files actually, SAP exe and SAP exedb. There are the two files actually, SAP exe, SAP exedb. So this is the DB, so independent file, and this is the DB dependent file. So depends upon your database, we will do the this DB dependent file. So this is the DB independent file. Independence means so any DB, the SAP exe is the common file, but depends upon the DB, we will download these two files, these two kernel files we have to download from the service marketplace. So they are the kernel locations in our during the installation time. We have installed the kernels. During the installation time, we done the installations, right? During the installations of the SAP, we have done the install. Done we have done the SAP kernel done, but those are the old ones. But so now in the every 3 months, SAP will release their new kernels for the new patches, so bug fixes, new enhancements. Some that's like OS level anything, OS level anything. So in SAP, in the three levels the kernel stores, kernel files are located. When we discussed about the OS level directories, the kernel will be located in the three locations, right? One is the USR, SAP, SID, sys, and exe. This is the global kernel directory, global kernel or exe directory, that we will call it as the exe. Then we have the local exe directory as well, like USR, SAP, SID, the instance number, then exe. These are the local directories actually. So local. So ASCS, SID, and ASCS, and we have exe directory. They are the three locations our kernel files will be stored. This is the global. Global means it is applicable for the all these file systems will feed, which means otherwise I can put this way. So all this global file system, global exe directory will sync the kernel files to the local exe directories. So they are the three locations where kernel files exist at operating system level. You can see here the three kernel files. If you go to the USR, SAP, SID, so you can see sys, so exe. One is the sys exe, and second one is the instance exe. So third one is the ASS exe. They are the three locations we have the kernel directories are existed. So these kernels are binaries, OS level binaries. Your systems are up and running and it's executing means your SAP systems are running, your work process are running, and everything is running fine, smoothly, which means because of this kernel only. Because of the kernel is the heart for the SAP systems. So which means it's a base. Without this kernel, your SAP systems it won't start. So while starting the SAP system, so always SAP it will check the kernel directories. So whether kernel directories are correctly configured or not, it will check. Then after that, whether it's accessible or not, then it will start your SAP systems. Then you can able to access all the transaction codes and everything. So kernel is the very important. So without kernel, even you cannot connect to the database. Without kernel, you cannot connect it. So see here, dpmon, display work. So work process, enqueue server, message server, all the kernel files are located here. So these are the binaries. So in Windows level, suppose when you install the Windows operating system, how you will get the program files, some binaries, and Windows System 32. If you disturb this Windows 32 or program files, entire your operating system will crash, right? Same as like here also, when you disturb this kernel files or something is happened with this kernel directory, immediately your SAP system will go down status. It will not be up. So system is not upping, system is not starting means one side we need to check what are the, whether the kernel files are, whether the kernel files are available or not, someone deleted or it's not accessible, something like we need to check this exe directories. So it's a very important exe directory. So this directories we need to update all these kernel files, we have to update to the latest levels as per the so market recommendations from SAP. Every 3 months or 6 months we have to update the kernels to the latest patch levels, we have to update it, latest patch levels we have to update it. So what are the, how to update those kernels here? So to updating the kernel we need a downtime, downtime is required here. Definitely there is a downtime. Downtime means you need to stop the SAP system. While SAP is on, you cannot do the kernel upgrade. Why? Because SAP is on, because of SAP is running, because of the this kernels, because of the this kernel files SAP is running. When SAP is up and running, you cannot update this one. You need to stop all the binaries and everything, all the process SAP systems you need to stop. You don't need to stop the database. Why? Because you are not upgrading the database, just only SAP kernels you are upgrading. So what is the procedure? What are the prerequisites we need to follow to update this one? So to perform the kernel upgrade, the first step we need to check the the current kernel version. What is the current kernel version? We need to check the current kernel version. Then so we need to download, based on that we need to download the latest kernel patch levels from service marketplace. Same way how we downloaded in the during the downloads, during the installation time we downloaded the some of the kernel files and everything, right? How we downloaded, same way we need to download the latest patch levels, we need to download it. Then after that, so move the kernel patches. Kernel means SAP exe, SAP exe do, move the kernel files to app server level, application server level, you need to move it, right? Then extract the kernel files. So using SAP car command you need to extract it. Then fifth step number, take the backup of your existing kernel files. Take the backup of your existing kernel files, we need to take it out. The 3 locations we need to take the kernel. If something goes wrong, we need to roll back the patches, we need to revert the changes, right? So we need to use this one, take the backup of existing kernels. The step number 6 is stop the SAP systems, SAP applications. We need to stop the SAP applications, everything. So then step number 7 is the very crucial step, like so replace the new kernel, replace the new kernel files into the existing exe directories, we can replace it. So which means copy and paste. Windows copy paste is the Linux, we need to use the so cp command, copy command -rf. So the old new kernel and what is the target location, yes or SAP, that commands we have to give it in the Linux copy command we discussed. So right, that is the one. Windows, just copy the new kernel, replace it in the existing kernel directory. Then once you've done it, once the replacement is done, maybe just check the permissions of kernel files. So if it is a Linux, definitely you need to execute the /sap root.sh script, you need to execute it. Why we have to execute the script means to set the permissions, UID, correct UID, correct group ID. So we need to set this one. So why? Because we will extract the kernel files with different user. When you are replacing, sometimes the permissions may get messed up. To avoid this one, we need to, for the Linux systems, especially for the Linux based systems, you need to execute the sap root.sh script, you need to execute for this one. Then step number 9, so you can start the SAP system. Then 10th, you can so validate, we can verify and check, perform the post check. Simply can make it like perform the post post steps you can perform it. So these are the steps we need to perform in the server level, application server, to perform the kernel app. It's very simple, but thing is dangerous activity. So which means so something goes wrong with this all these things. So it's very dangerous. But we can revert back. Simply we can roll back to the previous status. So what we have to do now? So currently we need to check the current version. So in this case, you need to log into the your application server level. You need to log into the your application server level with the SID ADM. You need to log in. Suppose like NWD ADM, you need to log in with the password. You need to log in. Then once you log in, we need to check the current kernel version. We need to check the current kernel version. The current kernel version we can check the two ways. One is the OS level. We can use the this plus work command, or in SM59 with SM51 we can check the release information. Release information we can check it out two ways. Suppose so now we are in the system. So we go to the command prompt mode, execute the commands. You need to use the command prompt mode. Then you can execute the this plus work command. So this plus work, so that it will give the results like what is the your kernel release, what is the patch level. So this is the main release. Under the main release, we have the patches are available. So 1100 is the our patch release. 753 this one. Also, you can go to the SAP level NWD system, SAP level NWD system. So there you can find the so SM51. Then you can check the SM51. You can go ahead and you can check the release node. In SM51 you can release it. 753, the patch level is the 900 1100. So we can directly, so 753 is the current kernel. Then before that, after the kernel 753, we have the release 773, 781, 783. The patches are releases are there. Each release there is a sub patches are there. Each release there is sub patches. So we can directly go to the 773, but when you are going to the 773, the release version, when you are doing the kernel upgrade, kernel release upgrade, here the two things we have to take it out. One is the kernel upgrade, means kernel patch upgrade, or kernel release upgrade. So release, kernel release upgrade, which one you are doing here? Kernel patch upgrade means, so same, this patch level you are changing from 1100 to 1200, 1300, 1400. Next one, what is the next series? That one you are doing it. So release means this version you are changing 753 to 770, 18, 90, whatever there. Next, the next series you are doing. But patch level we can change it within the release simply. But when you are doing the release version, we need to check the so our basis component version. It should match it. What is our basis component version? It should be 750. 750 we have to apply the so this 753 version only. So if the 750 is there, if we are going with the 773 release means SAP it won't start. There is a dependency. So always kernel patch we can directly upgrade it, but release upgrade you are doing means so there is a dependency on the this patch level. If you are going with the 773 means it's not the suggestible. Why? Because your basis version, the component basis version should be the 752, 753, 754, something like that, higher than 750. Then only you can go with the 7 above kernel release upgrade. But now we can do the kernel patch upgrade, kernel patch release patch upgrade. We can perform it. To perform this one, what we have to do? We need to log into the service marketplace. First of all, we need to validate. So we have validated what is our current version. We have validated 1100 version. We have validated. So then we are checking the what is the latest version which is available in the service marketplace. I think here 1200 is available. I think we already extracted the 1200 patch levels. So, but again, we'll download it. And we'll update it. So to see, okay, this 1200 patches are already available. I'm deleting all these things. Only okay.
Sir, one
Only
question
this.
here.
Yes.
Ravi sir,
Yes, yes. Tell me.
So if we need to know update like basis component,
Again, some tool we
so
have to
how,
use it.
yeah, like how can we'll get to know like which component is suitable for the
Yes.
kernel?
Now I will show you now. I will show you now. So here, if you read the kernel release note, each kernel when they are releasing, there is a release note. There is a release note. Each release note, so the information will be up. The information will be applicable actually. Each release note information will be so detected. Suppose we are going to the kernel. Kernel means K. I will show you now. It is the kernel K. I went to the kernel here. 64-bit. Ours is the 64-bit. Then here you can see here. So see here, after the 753, we have the 754, 777, 785, 78010 is the, these all are there. So why can't we, why we are doing only patch upgrade in 753? Why we are only changing the patches? Why this ours is the Windows? Then you can select the, so our Windows 64-bit operating system. So why we are doing only these things? So we have the 1200 is there. Why you are only uploading the 1200? So why can't we directly go to the 753 to 759? Why can't we go? So we can go, but the thing is our SAP version also should match it. Our SAP version also should match it. If we go to the every kernel patch level, so suppose this one, if we go to this one, there is a content information, there is a release information will be displayed here. So in the, there is a release information, each release information, each release note, they have clearly will mention what is the, so 777 release, so 64-bit unique code when they have released it. So what is the your version, what is the your SAP table, what is the which is applicable, 753, 754, 777. So all this information they will clearly mention. And also you can see here what they have fixed, what are the issues they have fixed in the, so 7. So in this patch level, in the 777 500 patch level, what are the, they have fixed the issue, some RFC related issue, WebGeo related issue, missing some memory check related issue. So you can check, you can see here. So you can check the release note. If you check this release note, you will clearly check the what is the exact information it is mentioned. Each kernel there is a release note, and also here you can check the, so versions, SAP table versions. In the table level, it should be matched to the 753, 7759, 777 only. So your basis release version. If you need more details, you need to just open this note. You have to open this note. If you open this note, so you will get the each kernel patch level there is a release note. That release note will clearly will tell you what is exactly here. So each release note. So each release note. So what are the SAP recommended to use the latest patch level? That is fine. SAP kernel 777 supports S4Hana 19.01 only. 777 download compatible to the 773 can download compatible. So 777 is not download compatible to the kernel. Add SAP NetWeaver version 7.4, 7.5, 7.51, 7.5. It's not compatible. See here, the reason and the prerequisite section, they have clearly mentioned it's not compatible to update this 777 patch level to this one. So always we have to mention this note. Maybe we can put the one note here, we can put the one important point here, like important. So check the release note, check the release note before applying the patches. This is what the interviewer will expect answers from you. So this is the one. If you plan carefully all these things, definitely you can successfully complete the kernel upgrade. If you don't perform anything, directly you will download the latest version without checking, then you downloaded everything, then you may face the issues. You may face the issues. That's why before you do anything, always we need to check the some documentation. We need to check it out. So now we are in the 753. In the 753, we already in the 1100 patch levels, right? 1100 means which is released on the 9th month. 2022 ninth month, but here 2023 now. So latest patch level already available 1200. So select that one. That will be downloaded. That SAP exe will be downloaded. That will be downloaded now. See, that is getting downloaded, right? Then after that, so database independent. Next one, database dependent. Our database is HANA database. Select the database. So which database for yours? So then select the 1200. But when you are applying this one, you should apply the SAP XCDB also. So if you miss this one, this is also create the problem. That is not the recommended approach. So when you are downloading SAP exe 1200, you need to download the SAP XCDB also. Kernel means combination of the SAP exe, SAP XCDB. These are the two files are the kernel. You need to upload these two files, SAP exe, SAP XCDB also you need to upload it, right? So otherwise, your SAP exe is the 1200. You don't have any requirement to upload this only 1100 means again it will create the noise in the system. So to avoid this one, whatever the version you are doing for the SAP exe, same way you have to download it for the SAP XCDB also. Once you download it, then you download it. Done. You have downloaded the patches. Now you have downloaded the patches. So we have created the new folder SAP exe, SAP XCDB. You created the new folder. So you have downloaded. Everything is ready. So that is fine. Downloaded. You move to the application server level. Then move to the application server level. Then extract the files. So we need to extract the files. How to extract it? Right? We know commands. Right? What is the command here to extract the files?
SAP car.
So
SAP car
SAP car alpha XVF
XVF file name.
SAP.
But first we need to place the SAP car file in the same folder.
So when we are doing with SID ADM, you don't require to do this SAP car file. So when you are doing other than SID ADM, you need SAP car file. So now I'm using the other than SID ADM. Sorry, SID ADM I am using so I can do that one. First always ensure when you are doing extracting, there is a series. First SAP exe, then after that SAP exedb you need to do that one. SAP exe, SAP exedb you need to do that one. So now I am doing other than the administrator user. So but you need to do from SAP. So administrator user we can perform. Administrator also we can perform it, not a problem. But only thing is you need to again download the this one. SAP car, SAP-XPF. Okay, so then click on the OK button means that will be extracted. So first SAP exe we need to extract it. Then after that SAP exedb we need to extract it. It will create the some files. All the files will be created here. All the files will be created here. It will be extracting. See here how many files are getting extracted here.
So one previous patch backup will be enough for that.
Yeah, one previous patch, one previous existing kernel patch backup is enough to roll back. Easily we can roll back the kernels. It's not the very much. Easily we can roll back. Easily we can roll back the this kernel upgrade. The only thing is before you doing that one, make sure you have correctly downloading the files or not. Sometimes the people correctly they won't download it. Then they're downloading, they will check all these things and everything. They will simply download for the other OS related, other OS related, not the HANA-DB, something Linux level, some other different database. They will download it and they will extract it. When they are starting, it won't start. So that's why carefully we need to download it. Depends upon your OS and carefully you need to download it. Once you download it, then extract it and keep it ready. This is done. So SAP exe down. Now SAP exedb you need to extract it. So first SAP exe, then SAP exedb you need to extract it. Yes.
Any timelines for update patches releasing?
Normally,
yeah,
every quarterly we have to update it. Some people they will go for every 4 months once. So after 6 months once they will go for that. It depends upon your organization policy. Either every 4 months, every 3 months. But normally SAP recommended to go with the every quarterly.
SAP release every quarterly for?
Yeah, sometimes every quarterly or every yearly once, every 6 months once they will release it. But you already in the lowest versions means, suppose there is no timelines for them actually. So whenever there is any issue comes for the customers, of some remaining customers, what they will do, suppose for this kernel, they have some issues in their production systems. They will fix that issue. They will place their one more like 1200, 01, 1200, like 1300, something like that. They will place the new kernel in the marketplace so that who are having that type of issues, they will update the new kernel files, everything. What are the issues means? When there is a issue, when there is a issue in the SAP systems, that issue is related to the update your kernel, then they will release the new kernel. They will release. If we see kernel file, so maybe here they will detect it. They will write it here. What are the issues are fixed in this kernel? Suppose you have this issue, TSV unique number of dumps are occurring in your system. Lot of dumps are occurring in ST22 systems. So this is occurred for one customer. That is the reason they have released this note. They are saying that update to the 1200 patch level. In the 1200 patch levels, you can see how many issues are they have fixed. 1200. These all are issues only they have fixed. In the 1100, so 1173. So like that, you can see how many issues they have fixed it. How many issues they have fixed it. So based on that, we need to, so they will fix it. So if you are having issues, then you need to immediately you have to update the kernel. If you don't have issues, then we need to, so if you don't have issues, then we need to, so we need to keep it the same, or every 3 months we need to keep to update that one. Instead of waiting for issue to come, every 4 months we can, every 3 months we can update the kernels and everything, we can update it, right?
Basically, in the EWA report itself, it will show like your kernel is out of
yes, out of the support
patch version.
Yes.
So please update to the latest patch version.
That is the recommendation. Yeah, always SAP.
What issues occurred in mainly in the kernels? Any issue?
You see right here, what are the issues they have? So same issues. Suppose if you see some crash during the trace file switch, some those like issues you can see here for load balancing related issues, some RFC scope violation errors. These all are the issues only. They will mention what issues they have fixed in the each and every kernel patch level. Suppose you can see restore the original format prior to the some SLE text to CFC related error. So suppose like some hanging situation, high CPU consumption. Like now we may face this type of issues, right? What is this high CPU related consumption? So if you are in your systems, like I think we are also having some high CPU consumption related errors. So to fix that one, we need to update the kernels. So SAP say that we need to update the kernel. Suppose if you want, go to this node, the patch node. In that node, they have clearly mentioned what they have fixed. Suppose in your system, you have some kernel issues, kernel bugs. Suppose like high CPU, every day high CPU issues you have, but you are not sure what is the exact error. But when you ask the SAP will say that it's not your issue, it's a kernel bug. So then you can apply this node. Means as per the node, you need to patch it. Maybe when you open the default, when you are checking in the work process trace logs, they want us for work process trace logs, you will find this type of errors, warnings. This type of warnings you may found, right? If you found this type of warnings in your systems, in your database, in your systems, then SAP saying that so upgrade your kernel patch level to the corrections are delivered in the kernel archives. Go with the SAP exe, SAP DXE, update the latest, import the latest kernel files in your systems. Like that, they have asked for it. See here. Otherwise, probably they asked that to go to the change the one parameter as well. Some parameter change it. Even though there is no log, then go with the update the kernels. See here, they have mentioned.
Sir, is it like group of S nodes included in one kernel?
Yes, group of not S nodes, group of fixes. Group of fixes fixed into the one SAP node. See here, multiple nodes. We have the 446 kernel, then after 447, 448. Yes, group of nodes, group of issues, some wrong issues, wrong status in the SP01 that is fixed in the 449, 500 patch
So
level.
if we want to resolve individual issue, so we need to implement S node, right?
Yes. We need to check that node. That node is related to the S node implementation. In S node also we have the two types of nodes: information node and corrective nodes. Information mode. These are the information node. This information node means we can check that one. Is the kernel bug? Then definitely we need to update that one. Is the patch level bug? Then we need to update the patches. If the node should be fixed, that one we need to apply the node. Yeah, depends upon the error message errors. We have to act accordingly. So suppose for our case, maybe we will assume like high CPU utilization, always high CPU utilization. So just assume high CPU utilization. We see in the work process logs, similar error, whatever here errors shown, errors displayed here, sporadic error messages, we see these errors. So if you found these errors in the work process log, immediately you can recommend to update your kernel to the 1200 patch levels, 1200 patch level. 1200 patch levels, you can update that one. That is what SAP recommendations to update this one. So we can update it. So we can update it. So that our issue will be fixed. When after you update the kernel, your issue will be fixed. Okay. So it depends upon the issue. Then take the backup. So extracted, then take the backup of the existing kernel. So how to take the backup of the existing kernel means it's very simple. So go to the USR, SAP, ESR, SAP, SAD, so sys, so exe. Just copy this sysexe. Maybe if some other directory or same directory, put the new naming convention like so kernel copy old exe. You can take the backup. Old exe, you can take the backup. Just take the backup means you are copying to the another folder. Just copying to the other folder. We have taken the backup. So here the backup is done. So now we are upgrading kernel into this one. New kernel files we are placing into here. If something goes wrong, you have the already old folder is there. You can replace that one. This is the copy backup. Just you rename it that one. This is the original one. If you rename it this one, your entire your system will be down now. So don't do that one. Just you can keep it this one. Just take a one more copy of this one. Then after that, what? You got the downtime approvals and everything. Then stop the SAP application. Your NWD stop it. Stop the your NWD system.
SID ADM.
Of the SAP application. Before starting the SAP application, you need to get the approval from. So anyhow, while doing this activity, you will get the approval from your managers and everything, right? So then in this case, you are sure you are okay. So weekends, normally production systems weekends they will perform the kernel upgrades and everything because system is going down.
You will
So,
perform in non-business hours.
Yeah, non-business hours you have to perform it. At least you have to perform in the non-business hours. So non-production systems okay, but production systems you need to plan carefully. Yes, you stopped the NWD you stopped it. Maybe use the Windows, right? Maybe in the task manager, you see few services will be open. Just stop those few services as NWD related. Okay, you stopped it, then completed. Then what next? Taking the backup, stop the SAP applications, done. Then replace the new kernel files into existing exe directory. So what is your new kernel? This is our new kernel, right? New kernel, this is the new kernel. So copy all these things. Okay, just uncheck this one. Where is this? Already new files are there. Just copy all. Okay, to avoid the confusion. Go to the USR, SAP, SID, sys, exe, sysexe in NT ADM 64. Just replace. replace, just to override. So it will replace the all the files. New kernel files will come. New version of the kernel files will come. Here it is replacing, all the kernel files are getting replaced. Done. See here, so all are replaced and you got the new date. All are the new date actually. All are the new date. New kernel files are replaced. It's done. Kernel upgrade is done. But some cases, you only done the global exe directory. Sometimes some organizations you need to do the local exe directory also. You need to perform it. Global to the in this exe also you need to replace it. So and ASCS exe also need to be replaced. But in some cases only some organizations, some systems we need to place it. Why? Because if you replace it in the global exe directory, that is fine. Why? Because in the global exe directory there is a SAP CPE utility program actually. So what this program will do, if you have the hundreds of application servers, this will copy the kernel files from global exe directory to local exe directory. Automatically it will copy it when you are starting the SAP application. So see here, I'm starting the SAP application here, starting the services here. So before starting, verify your kernel version. Again, use the display perk. So see whether the 1200 patch level is there or not. Yes, you can see here 1200 patch level. Previously we have the 1100, now 1200 patch level, which means kernel has been updated. Your kernel upgrade has been done, right? Your kernel is done. Now start the SAP application. So when starting, see here it won't start sometimes. Why? Because see here while starting the SAP application, see here it is taking some time. See SAP CPE started. What is this executable copy? Which means it is copy the data to the first ASCS. Then it will go to the then again local exe. Local exe means SAP CPE CL carefully. The CPE go to the D02 and it will copy the kernel files. All the kernel files it will copy to the new kernel files. It will copy. See here dates it will come. It will copy. So now it is starting. Suppose if you did wrongly, it won't start. It may fail it. So if it is not starting, it's copied. That's why you see initially SAP CPE is started. So sometimes some organizations, some systems, maybe some issues, it won't copy. Then that time manually we have to do the kernel upgrade on the all the 3 folders. You have to do kernel upgrade. Kernel upgrade management. Kernel upgrade means nothing. Replace the new kernel files into the existing exe directory. CCXE, one CCXE you replace it same way as like the instance number exe, ASCX, you need to replace it manually. That's it. So depends upon the issues. So now you replaced it, check that SAP started or not. So still it is not started. See here, it is not starting up. It is starting up. Then after that, if it is started means your kernel upgrade is successfully completed. It's not started means you have some issues. Then you need to go to the work directory, check what is happening with the my kernel, why it is not starting. Just filter the today's date. So maybe check the any one of the work process log. Check that any one of the work process log. Are there any errors? See here, when SAP is starting, always check the kernel. Always check the kernel and the kernel patch level. Then kernel patch level. Then profile. It will check. Then only SAP will start it. So the first check, if a kernel is not matching means even the first step itself, it won't start. So first step itself, it won't start. So always all the SAP systems, work process, everything will refer the kernel and profile directory. Then only, so it will be started. Then only it will be started. So I think it's connected. Everything is running fine. You can see there is no errors. Nothing is there. Nothing is there. Now we can log into the SAP system. Then you can perform some validations. Any dumps are occurring or not in the system, any errors, all these things we can check in the system. So we can validate it. All these things we can check in the system. So yeah, initially, right? So it will be slow sometime. Then go to the SICK. to check the consistency check. There are no errors reported. Post checks. Then ST22 check, are there any dumps or 10 dumps after the kernel upgrade or before the kernel upgrade? We need to check. Maybe these dumps are common, so commonly occurring. You guys need to fix these dumps. Every day these dumps are occurring. I'm not sure, so you guys are monitoring the system or not. You need to fix this one, right? So you need to, what is this exactly? You need to fix these issues. I told already. So then check that one SM21, any critical errors are not. So like that, you need to perform the checks in the systems. You need to check anything. Then after the work process started, are there any critical errors? Nothing is there. So that nothing is there. So it's grown. It's great. It's good now. So no issues observed after the kernel upgrade. So then like that, we need to perform the some checks. Perform the post checks, start the SAP system, perform the store checks. These all are kernel upgrade related steps. Simple. Just only one crucial part is here, seventh part. Replace the new kernels into existing exe directory. Either sysexe, do that one. If no luck, then do the kernel upgrade in the remaining two directories as well. These are the two kernel directories. So suppose what is the program which will copy SAP CPE? This is the one of the frequented common interview questions. SAP CPE is the utility program. It will copy the binaries from the global to local. It will copy. So that it's a very important one. Okay, it's a very important file system. SAP CPE. This is the binary utility program. This is the utility program. Make it like it's a utility program. It will copy from global to local. It's unable to copy, then we have to copy. Okay, so this is about the kernel upgrade. So observe for the system for some time. If no issues are occurring, then we are good. Kernel upgrade is done. This is the way procedure for the kernel upgrade. Issues wise, I told you, right? So we need to carefully check the release, carefully apply the notes, everything we need to carefully check it out. Then only it will be, system will be up. Otherwise, system it won't up. Okay, so any questions from anyone?